Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Sohardi from English Education Department, PBAB, and I made this video to fulfill the final assignment for the discourse analysis course. In this video, I will explain about discourse analysis for English language teaching. In this session, I want to answer some of question, and the first question is describe the position of discourse analysis in the theory of linguistics. Discourse analysis is a primarily linguistic study which examines the use of language by its native population orally and in writing. It is not surprising that the development of discourse analysis theory is strongly influenced by the development of linguistics theory. It could even be said that linguistics theory is the one that gives rise to the theory of discourse analysis. And for the second question is, what are the differences between discourse analysis and error analysis in terms of their linguistics backgrounds, theory and content of analysis? Okay, discourse analysis is a primarily linguistics study which examines the use of language by its native population orally and in writing. It is not surprising that the development of discourse analysis theory is strongly influenced by the developments of linguistics theories. It could even be said that linguistics theory is the one that gives rise to the theory of discourse analysis. Consequently, to see the process of how discourse analysis come into being in the study of linguistics, it helps if we first examine the development of linguistics theories, since this cannot be separate from the genesis of discourse analysis. To teaching the correct sentence structure, teachers are also required to prevent students from making errors while speaking. So, whenever an error is found, the teacher should be immediately corrected. This is done to avoid the realization of errors as a result of letting the student accustomed to making errors. In the era of structuralism, errors analysis began intensively to be developed. It is done solely to provide information to teachers about the form errors often made by learners. The information is then considered as the support of learners' problems is learning foreign language. The teachers are then obligated to correct such errors. Okay. The third question is, what do you know of the following terms? Okay, discourse analysis definition, in which is defined as attempts to analyze the organization of language use in terms of written text and spoken interaction to identify significant language form and function. So, this point, it is obviously known that students studying discourse analysis must undertake the analysis of discourse exchange. An exchange is a sequence of discourse moved to by at least two speakers that form a topical. Minimal exchange comprises an initiating move plus contribution by another speakers. Communicative competence refers through a learned ability to use language to communicate success. Move analysis is an approach to discourse analysis used in the research and teaching of genres within the area of language for specific purpose. Grounded in the Sweller's genres theory, this approach focuses on communicative purposes referred to as moves and theoretical strategies called steps. Language form and function. Discourse carries much more than its forms. It also carries its own particular function, which means that there is not necessarily one-to-one relationship between a given suprasegmental choice and a meaning change from and function might be analyzed separately in order to depict the real meaning of a discourse. Difference between form and function. Form is concerned with syntactic structure up to the sentence level. In example, the arrangement for morphemes and words into the larger units of group, clauses, and finally sentence. Form is also concerned with the syntagmatic relationship between words within clauses and sentence. Function is concerned with the purpose which those grammatical forms are designed to serve in human affairs. Discourse pattern. The discourse pattern, the logic or logical arrangement in ideas of an expository text of an oral presentation for informational purpose will vary depending on the culture and the native language of the writer or speaker. The next is or the fourth question is, what are the scopes of discourse analysis in spoken discourse? Okay, the first is a language is verbally used by using speech in communication. The second is it constitutes a series of conversational system of sounds. The third is it's actually representation. Speaking, understanding speaking means to understanding spoken discourse. Okay, the next question is, analyze the following extract of conversation to find out its discourse sequence, move, function, and internal structure. Jane, I really want to apologize to you. What for? I'm really sorry about what I said to you the other night. I can't. It was a terrible thing to say. Please forgive me. Okay, enough is enough. I accept your apologize. Okay, for the next question is explain the following terms of writing discourse. Macro and micro analysis. Micro analysis focuses in analyzing vocabulary and grammar including cohesive relation and grammatical regularities in particular text. Macro analysis investigates the organization of text such as pattern and types. Grammatical cohesive device can be understood as device to concrete coherence in the text. The device are called grammatical cohesion. Grammatical cohesion consists of four types, namely reference, substitution, ellipsis, and conjunction. Cohesion and coherence. Cohesion refers to the way in which a text is tied together by linguistic devices such as grammar and vocabulary to offset up well-concerted relation of meaning within text. In the regard, a text said to have coherence in if its constituent sentence constructed in orderly fashion so that the readers can make sense of the entire text. Lexical cohesive device refers to vocabulary used to create coherence in text. The next question is describe how to analyze text pattern in discourse analysis. The first is problem solution pattern. It's a typical pattern of discourse and is frequently found in advertising texts which aim to convert customers to solve their problem through the purchasing of the said products. The second is general to specific patterns known as the deductive organization. This text pattern refers to the way of developing written text by moving from a broad observation about a topic to detailed description with more specific information in support of the topic. The third is claim pattern refers to the structure of ideas in text in which a claim or a statement of truth or something and counterclaim or an opposing claim made to offset the previous claim are present too in relation to a given issues. For the next question is describe how to analyze sentence pattern in discourse analysis. People use their knowledge of grammar and vocabulary working together to convey their ideas in text. Them and rem are two terms that indicate the way in which message is conveyed in sentence. Them is a gift. Information is the information which has already been mentioned somewhere in a text. Our out is shared or mutual knowledge from the immediate context. In the other word, them typically contains familiar or already known information. Them provides the settings for the remainder of sentence that is rem. Rem is the remainder of the message is an unfamiliar or new information. New information is knowledge that a writer assumes that the reader doesn't know but need to have order to follow the progression of the argument. And the next question is what factors to consider in selecting targeted discourse to be analyzed to get required or relevant information on language used in context. Okay, the first is the purpose and effects is different types of language. The second is cultural rules and convention in communication. And the third is how values, beliefs, and assumptions are communicated. And the fourth is how language use relates its social, political, and historical context. Discourse analysis is a common qualitative research research method in many humanities and social science disciplines, including linguistics, sociology, anthropology, psychology, and cultural studies. It is also called critical discourse analysis. Okay, the next question is, do you agree with saying that discourse analysis has significant contribution to English language pedagogy? Okay. Discourse analysis is like a bridge that connects between the teacher and the communicative approach in developing the communicative competence of language learners. Those who have learned linguistics and language skills have to learn discourse analysis in an academic subject at the university. They are the required to successfully deploy and connect their knowledge of discourse analysis and pedagogical components in the classroom. Namely, the first is curriculum, which refers to the contents being taught in the classroom. The second is methodology, which refers to the way in which the contents are taught. And the last is techniques for socializing language learners in the context where the language is used. Okay, I think this session will close. That's all this question on this video, and I will end this question. And thank you for your time, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.